Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning Biology. This is 13.5, alright? So, in the last section, we've talked about the menstruation, the menstrual cycle, which is very important. Alright, so this section is rather short. I'll only complete 2 pages and that's all for 13.5. Okay, so please get ready. Okay, so this part is talking about the fertilization. So first of all, we need to know the definition, alright? The definition is very simple. So remember, it's the male gamete. So if we are talking about human, then that would be the sperm, right? And then fuses with female gametes. And this time, in human, that would be the ovum to form a zygote. Alright, and this is the definition of fertilization. Please mark it down. Okay, so, and then we need to know how a sperm transfers into the female body. Alright, so first of all, this process is called the sexual intercourse, also called copulation or mating. Alright, mating 就係交配啦. All of these I mean are having the same meaning, 性交或者交配啦. Alright, so when male is sexually excited, the erectile tissue 啦，即係你嗰個勃起組織啦 is filled with blood. Okay, filled with blood 咁 so that it will erect. Okay, so therefore 啦，佢就會叫做 erectile tissue 啦，就會勃起啦。然之後啦 the penis will be inserted into the vagina of the female. And then, at a certain point, the semen is ejaculated. Okay, the semen with sperm 啦就會係 ejaculated into the vagina 嘅。Alright, so just remember one thing. It's the vagina that's holding the penis, but never say that it's the uterus. Alright, never say that it's the uterus. Alright, and then normally it's around this amount of semen. However, though inside this small amount of semen, it actually contains a lot of sperm for a healthy male. Alright. So after ejaculation takes place, 當佢發生咗 ejaculation 之後啦 so it enters the vagina, alright? And then it swims through the cervix. Cervix is this area, 就係子宮頸啦 and then it will keep on going up to the uterus and then to the upper part of 呢一個嘅 oviduct. Okay? So it will keep on going up. Upper parts of the oviduct. So usually the fertilization takes place like here. So why is this? First of all, we need to remember that, first of all, ovum, does it has mobility? Does it have mobility? It has no mobility. And, as I said, it moves by 2 ways. One of them is the beating of cilia, and then the other one is the contraction of muscular lining of the oviduct, right? However, despite having these 2 helps, 即使有呢兩個幫佢手咧 the ovum is still moving very, very slowly. Alright, so majority of the path is moved by the sperm. Alright, so the best location of fertilization will be somewhere like here of the oviduct. Alright, so that's all about this. And then this part is a little bit important, so please mark it, put a small star here. So in the end, despite having this amount of large number of sperm entering the entering the vagina, alright, entering the vagina, only a few are able to reach the upper part of the oviduct. 淨係得少量係會去到呢個位置嘅啫。And these are the reasons, alright. So this is quite important. So put a small star here. First one. So inside the vagina there is mucus. 佢哋會 trap by 呢個 mucus 啦。And the other thing, remember. How do we describe semen? 我哋點樣 describe 呢啲嘅 seminal fluid 啦，或者 semen 㗎 They are acidic or alkaline. They are alkaline, alright? But even though the seminal fluid is alkaline, it may not be able to neutralize. Alright? It may not be able to neutralize 呢一個the acidity of 呢一個嘅 vagina 啦。所以啦 some sperms may not be able to survive the acidity 嘅。Of the vagina, alright. Another thing 就係因為 body temperature of the female 啦。And the last thing 咁呢個 this is very normal 啦，就係 not all sperms 係 healthy 嘅。So some of them may be defective。自己讀呢一隻字啦 ，defective。defective 即係有一啲嘅 疾病啦 ，OK， 佢係唔係 effective 嘅，得唔得 ？OK，defective 啦，或者 or they are also immotile, they are not able to move. Alright, so mainly 4 reasons. 咁如果係 when we are talking about the female 嘅話咧 there are 3 reasons 啦 ，by 呢個 mucus 啦 ，by 呢個 acidity 啦，同埋 by 呢個 body temperature 嘅。And then when we talking about the male, it may be because the sperms are defective 或者 immotile 啦。Alright, so somehow this also explains. This is answering the question here. Why is it important? 點解需要 large number of your sperm in a single ejaculation 呢？ The reason is because only a few of them are able to reach the site of fertilization. 得唔得？ Most of them will be lost. Okay? And then this part, as you can see, it is not very often tested, but we need to know what is happening, what is the process inside, 得唔得? So first of all, 咁你會見到啦，呢個 sperm 啦會 meet the ovum in the oviduct. Alright? So, however, with your common sense, we know that normally only one sperm are able to enter the ovum, right? Okay, so what is happening next? 咁我有一隻字要識嘅 one word, we say penetrate. Penetrate 即係代表穿入去啦。Alright? So the sperm will release enzyme. And then you remember the structure. That structure is called the acrosome. 佢嘅 acrosome 啦就 release 啲 enzyme， 然後啦就係 mainly for digesting the jelly coat of the ovum. Okay? So it opens a path, as you can see, it's digesting through the jelly coat. 好啦，然之後咯，and then the head of 呢個 sperm 啦 successfully passes through 呢個嘅 cell membrane and enters cytoplasm 嘅。個 head 會 passes through 呢個 cell membrane 同埋 enter 咗入去啦。Okay? However, what is happening 就係呢個 midpiece and tail 咧係 left outside. So only the head here will be able to enter the cell membrane and the cytoplasm. Okay? 然後啦，呢個 midpiece 同埋 tail 咧就 remain outside 嘅。最尾啦 ，once 呢一個嘅normally 講緊 normal situation, alright? So once the head fuses or once the head meets the ovum, okay? So the jelly coat will change. 個 jelly coat 會改變咗嘅 to prevent the entry of another sperm. Okay? So the other sperm will be unable to enter the ovum anymore. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, there will be more than 2 sets of chromosomes. Alright? So now the sperm brings the paternal, the ovum carries the maternal chromosomes. Alright? If another sperm gets inside, there will be 3 sets of chromosomes, and this zygote will never be able to form. Alright? Normally. Okay, ma? Okay, so that's all. So just a little bit more details. 咁我哋就會講到啦，呢個 jelly coat will become impermeable. Okay, say this word impermeable， 即係代表冇透性啦。Okay, so earlier in chapter 3, we talk about differentially permeable. Differentially permeable， 即係代表係某程度上啦，等於 partially 啦 ，very similar to partially. So only for some substance to pass through. Okay, and we also talk about fully permeable. And then some of them are impermeable. 即係代表係冇任何透性啦 ，nothing can pass through. Alright? So okay, so that's all for this fertilization process. So what happened next is we have repeated it over and over again. So I hope you do remember that. Okay? 咁然後啦 what will happen 就係 nucleus of your sperm, so which is inside the head, will fuse with the nucleus of the ovum. Okay, so they will fuse together, and therefore this process is called fertilization. And then you can also say that it is a fertilized ovum, or you can say that it is a zygote. 兩個名都得嘅。Okay, and therefore the zygote will become N or 2N now. It will be N or 2N. It will be 2N. Alright, it will be 2N. Therefore, 佢係一個 haploid 定 diploid 啊？ It will be a diploid. Alright. So it has 2 sets of chromosomes, therefore 係 both parents 啊，得唔得？呢一個就係一個 diploid number 啦。And then remember, I told you to remember this word, okay? So we say that the diploid number of chromosome can be restored， 就能夠復原返啦。So no longer the haploid gametes. Two haploid gametes come together, fuse together to form back a diploid number of chromosome 啦。OK， 好啦，咁然後咯Also, one more thing to answer this question. So it asks you here, like, why fertilization only take place in the upper part of your oviducts, huh? First one, so I said the mobility of the ovum is very low. Okay, mobility of ovum is very low. Besides, the other thing is about the survival. About the survival of ovum, yeah. How would you explain? 你會點樣去解釋呢? Okay, try to find back the information I've given you in the previous video. I think it's 12.3. I told you like how long can ovum and sperm can live. 佢哋可以生存幾耐嘅. Alright, so think about that, and how is fertilization often taking place at the upper part of the oviducts? 點解永遠都係上半部呢? Okay, so that's all for this part. I'll just talk a bit about this one. This one is also pretty much a story, okay? Polyspermy. So poly, what does it mean? Poly means multiple, more than two, right? Okay, poly, just like polysaccharides, right? So it's like multiple. And then polyspermy, that means multiple sperms. Okay, multiple sperm. So this is actually a type of disease, I think, or a type of unfavorable outcome. 係一個唔正常嘅一個結果嚟嘅。Okay? So what is happening is that the genetic code fails to change. Okay, fails to change. Therefore, there will be more than one sperm entering the ovum. 就會出現咗多過一個 sperm entering the ovum 啦。所以啦 ，this condition 我哋就會叫做 polyspermy. Alright? So你咪吸住走啦，慢慢嚟啊。好啊。Okay, so to continue is that so okay, so since, as I said, there is more than two sets of chromosome, and this way it cannot become a healthy embryo. Okay, it will unlikely survive. Okay, that's all for this section. So congratulations, there's like only 15. So in this case, there's only two sets of chromosome. So in this case, there are more than two sets of chromosome. When there are more than two sets, that means it is no longer a diploid, okay? And normally, it cannot develop into it cannot be developed into an embryo, okay? Let alone healthy, okay? 唔會變到一個正常嘅 embryo 啦。That's all for this video, alright? So please finish this, and I'll check the answers with you in the lesson. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.